Am I crazy? Is this all in my head? Well, licensed psychotherapist Stacy Kaiser says it depends, and she's joining us here today to weigh in.
Thank goodness.
On some wild
I always
topics.
feel better when Stacy is in the house.
But we're starting things off with a wild, wild hot topic. Check this one out. Ready for the latest trend in jewelry? You won't find it here or there. Try a little lower. It's right here. Yes, the thigh gap trend is heading to the next level with the introduction of thigh gap jewelry. A new company, T-Gap Jewelry, is now selling baubles to accentuate the space between your legs. There are currently 3 different dangling designs, and with an average price of $185, that's some hefty metal swinging with each step. So how about it? Would you wear trinkets between your thighs?
Well, that settles that. I don't think the audience is going out to buy that.
I am not either.
Listen, I've been dealing with this thigh gap thing my entire career as a plastic surgeon. Well, I guess before then, too.
And me as a therapist. It's giving people complexes.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have a thigh gap. Do you have a thigh gap?
No, but I do have some family jewels in the thigh gap.
You see
guys come pre-built with our little set of jewelry down there.
But having that thigh gap is not physiologic. It's not anatomic. I mean, it's
not
natural.
psychologic.
Well, that's right.
Are you saying you hate this concept?
I'm not for this concept.
So take a deep breath. According to the website, 35,000 people have clicked on the site to try and purchase the jewelry for themselves. Well, surprising news, and this is why I said take a deep breath, this whole thing is fake. The designer created them as a sort of art piece. They wanted to open a discussion about unrealistic body standards in current society, and I will say they did just that.
And, there's a lot of reasons why your thighs touch. It can be muscle mass. Women are supposed to naturally be curved and not straight-legged. That looks more like a boy. But probably the single biggest thing that contributes to the thigh gap is your pelvis and your femur, the bones in your legs, how they're just set up anatomically. Because to have a big thigh gap, you almost have to be bow-legged.
It has nothing to do necessarily with your body size. It's your body structure. And that's one of the things that bothers me when you start looking at these statistics, and why I'm glad that we're having this discussion. Stacey, you see this, I'm sure, all the time. I hate that in a survey of 9 to 10-year-old girls, 40% had tried to lose weight. At 13 years of age, 53% of girls unhappy with their bodies. Think about that. At 13 years of age, over half of girls are unhappy with their bodies. And then by the time they get to 17, 78% are unhappy with their bodies. These unrealistic expectations, the thigh gap, the magazines, all the perfection.
I get this with patients wanting liposuction, like, hey, I want that space in between my thighs, and I say no, because then you're going to be straight-legged in there, and that's not a natural.
So they literally want you to go in and suck fat out of their inner thighs so they can have a thigh gap.
Absolutely.
I can honestly say that I have never evaluated any human being and thought,
where's that
thigh gap? No.
Well, you just made all of the single women a lot happier.
I think the takeaway here is, number one, a healthy body image is important. And yes, it's important to have a healthy body when it comes to health overall. But these unrealistic expectations, what I find interesting is that the images that we're trying to match our bodies up to are actually unhealthy specimens, meaning unhealthy body types are the ones where we're like, we need this thigh gap, we need this, we need to be able to touch our belly button, blah, 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 blah. And these are not healthy bodies.
And you heard it here. Most people in Hollywood are cheating anyways with photoshopping.
Right.